Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this comment, Bill, I did watch your video. And when I was watching your video, I was like, you're gonna be happy.
It, it, it's really fun when we
Yeah.
have these things planned for like months in advance, right? These licenses and stuff, and then people like post about them. They're like, "Oh, they should get this game and that game." And you're like, "We're just trying to sit here, like, I can't touch it yet." Like, but now we can finally talk about Moon Patrol, so I'm excited about this.
Very
People have been
good,
asking
very
for Moon Patrol for the home arcades for a while now, so we're excited to have Moon Patrol.
Hey there everyone, and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. So if this is your first time checking out the channel, be sure to hit that subscription button, click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video. Give this one a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. So now, if you saw my cute little clip at the start of this video, you know that yesterday iiRcade had a special announcement where they announced a bunch of new titles that would be coming to their iiRcade game system, all from arcade maker Irem. Now, I kind of joked around in the comments there because I had put out a video several weeks back on a wish list of games for iiRcade, all from Irem, and every single game they announced yesterday was on that list. Now, not every one that I asked for because, you know, that would be a little too much. But, you know, who knows? There's still hope that maybe some of those, some cool games like Kid Nicky and Undercover Cop may come at some point. But hey, I'm pretty excited that the ones that they did announce are coming to the system, including one really special one that they announced at the end of the stream that I'm going to talk about first, because it's actually available now. And of course, that game would be Moon Patrol. Now, Moon Patrol was released into the arcades in 1982. It was developed by Irem, and it was distributed by Williams Electronics, which today a lot of you know as Midway. Now, I have to say that when I did my original wish list, I had this as kind of an honorable mention. Be great if it would happen, but I doubt it, because I will totally admit I was under the impression that Williams or Midway still owned the license for distribution for this game. Let me say that I have never been more happy to be wrong about something. The fact that they are able to get this game and get it on the system is a huge boon for iiRcade. This is considered one of the classic arcade games. The first game ever to use what you see here is called parallax scrolling, where objects in the background scroll at a slower pace than objects in front to give a kind of 3D effect to it. And it's such a fun game. It's such a fun classic, and I'm so happy they were able to get this. So like I said, I'm really happy that I got this wrong. It was on my wish list. It was one I would hope that they would get, but I did think that Midway, having been or Williams, now Midway, having been a distributor of it back in the day, might have kept it from being able to get onto the arcade system. But it seems like they don't really own the license anymore. That Irem does own the distribution rights for this game, so for them to be able to get that, fantastic. So this was actually the last game that they announced during their stream, and I think it was one that people were really the most excited for. Not only did they announce it at the end, but they announced that it went live right then and there. They posted it right on their store at that time. So you can actually go and get this game for your iiRcade system right now. It retails at $7.99 on their system. Sorry, it's not going to be part of any of their Black Friday game sales. It's a brand new game on their system. But $7.99 is a good price for this game, and it does include global leaderboards, so that's something pretty exciting too. Although I do want to mention one quick thing, and it's something, Arcade, if you happen to be watching this video, you may want to make note of. I did download the game. I was playing it last night. It is a heck of a lot of fun, but there does seem to be an issue with the leaderboards, at least on my system. There was, if I go into the global leaderboards and I look, everybody's score is 1, all on the leaderboard. So I think that's something that they may need to patch and fix. I haven't checked the store this morning unless it's something that they put out an update for, and I haven't seen it yet. But look, the leaderboards are there. They will fix it. I'm not particularly worried about that. It's a great fun game. It's a classic. If you're into these classic old school arcade games, this is one to get. So $7.99 Moon Patrol is on their system right now. All right, so now with the big one out of the way, and hopefully you'll stick around for the rest of the video, let's talk real quick about the other ones they announced. And this was the first one that they announced. All right, and this is Major Title 2, and also from Irem. And this is obviously a golf game. I believe this was the second one in the series. There was a game called Major Title. I guess they decided to go with the second one, Major Title 2. Who knows? Maybe we'll get the first one at some point as well. I believe this was released in the arcades in 1992. It did see some home releases, including onto the Super NES. And it's just a really fun golf game. Now, I know people had some questions in the chat during their thing about being able to play this with a trackball. And who knows, maybe that's possible, but it is not necessary. The actual arcade game was a joystick and 2-button game. Now, the game is also a 4-player game, so you will be able to play this. They said you can actually play this 4 players on one cab or 4 players online. And the way you would play it on one cab is the fact that, everybody kind of switches off. You can only, play one person at a time, whoever is, up and hitting the ball, putting, whatever. So players 1 and 3 would be on the 1-player joystick, and players 2 and 4 would be on the 2-player joystick, and you would just go back and forth playing. And then, of course, they are going to have online play available for this too. However, no leaderboards, at least not at the start of release. They didn't give any 100% official release dates, but they did give some tentative release dates. And this is actually after Moon Patrol. The next one's scheduled to come out, which would be next Friday, November 25th. So, hey, look for this to come right after Thanksgiving, all right? All right, the next game I want to talk about is Ninja Spirit. This was another one that they announced. Another fantastic, side-scrolling arcade game. This was released in 1988 in the arcades. You play as the ninja Tsukage, whose journey takes him through 7 stages varying from woodlands, wastelands, swamps, temples, and cliffs. Now, each stage begins with the player slashing his way to the end until he confronts a level boss. Again, just a really fun arcade game, was definitely on my wish list, and one I am looking forward to them having on their system. Now, this was, again, tentatively the next one scheduled for release, and this should hopefully come out on December 2nd. This game will have online leaderboards, but no online play. And I believe the reason for that is that it is just a single-player game, so there's really not much point to having online play for this particular game. But you will have global leaderboards for all you score chasers. All right, so next up, this is R-Type Leo. Now, R-Type Leo is a horizontal shooter. It was released in the arcades in 1992. Developed by Nanio and published by Irem. Now, this is a spin-off of the R-Type games, and it is basically the last of the R-Type games that was released in the arcades. Now, Arcade also has R-Type and R-Type 2 on their system, so to get R-Type Leo and basically complete the collection is fantastic, and definitely one that I'm personally looking forward to. This is tentatively set to release on December 16th. So hopefully that will hold true. And they did say that this one will have both online play and online leaderboards when it launches. So very cool to have this being a 2-player simultaneous game. Having that online play is going to be a lot of fun on it for sure, and definitely one I'm looking forward to. I do own R-Type and R-Type 2 on my iiRcade, so I'm so happy to be able to get R-Type Leo as well. And like I said, just complete the collection. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about this one. This is Vigilante, and this is a side-scrolling beat-em-up that originally came out in the arcades in 1988. Now, the interesting thing about this game is that while it was developed by Irem, it was actually published by Data East. So again, another great one that they were able to get. Now, I do know iiRcade has had games from both Irem and Data East, so whoever actually owns the license for this, and it does sound like it may be Irem, they were obviously able to work it out to get this on their system. This one, I think they did say is going to take a little bit longer to get on the system. This is probably scheduled to come out sometime in early January, possibly January 6th. There will be global leaderboards for it, but no online play. Again, this is a single-player game. Now, I know a lot of people were very interested in seeing this one during the chat for iiRcade, just kind of because this is a product of its time. The main bad guys you fight against are called the skinheads, and your girlfriend that you're trying to rescue is named Madonna. Very, very, very 80s for sure. But, you know, just a really fun game. Considered a spiritual successor to Irem's Kung Fu Master. So looking forward to this one for sure. Just another great beat 'em up to add to their system. All right, and there you have it. That's going to do it. That is all the announcements that iiRcade made last night for Irem games coming to their system. That is 5 new games that they have announced, one of which, Moon Patrol, is available right now to get. So definitely excited for this list. It is going to be fantastic to see these games on iiRcade. And one thing I got to hand to them is it does sound like they have been listening to feedback from the community. A lot of people, you know, while we like the fact that, you know, every week it seems like we get a new game every week, it's kind of a surprise. We never know what we're going to get. You know, they can be hit or miss, whether or not it's something you're excited about. So for them to actually come out and announce ahead of time a handful of games that are going to be coming to their system, and don't forget, they also did announce a couple weeks ago or a week ago, I forget when it was. I think it was last week, actually, that Ninja Baseball Batman was another Irem game that's going to be coming to their system. Another one from my wish list. Although that one we still don't know when it's supposed to come, just tentatively before the end of the year. So technically, that's 6 new games that we know are coming to the iiRcade system sometime between now and early next year. So kudos for them for getting this out there, for letting people know to expect it, for hyping it up, getting people excited that these games are going to come. iiRcade, do more of this, okay? This is what we want. We want to know ahead of time what we can expect, what we can look forward to. I get it. I know there are licensing things. There are things you have to work out before you can make announcements. I understand that. But where and when you can do this, this is what people want. This is what people want to know. They want this excitement. They want this build-up for these games, all right? Just my own personal opinion, although, you know, like I said, judging from what I've heard from other people in the community, I think it's a pretty widespread opinion, all right? Just leaving that as my 2 cents here. One last thing I did want to mention, again, they did not announce pricing for any of these games other than Moon Patrol coming out at $7.99, but they did believe that they would be, the rest of these would all be around $9.99. Certainly not more than $9.99. So could some of them be the same price as Moon Patrol at $7.99? Maybe, but I would say look forward to these games all coming out at the $9.99 price range. All right? That's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you did, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know, you could do that. It's okay. I'll live. But definitely leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're excited for any of these games coming out. Let me know if, you know, are these the AAAs? Are these the bangers that you were hoping for? I think it's pretty exciting. Irem, for me, is a very underrated arcade maker. They didn't get the kind of coverage that the Konamis and the Capcoms got over time, but they're certainly the makers of some classics. Moon Patrol, for sure, a classic arcade game. So very excited to have that and have that on my system. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you again soon. Take care.